Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am Tracey Hawkins. I'm also known as Tracey the Safety Lady. I am excited to be coming to you this afternoon to talk to you a little bit about safety information. I am in the heart of America. I am coming to you from Kansas City, Missouri. I know there's a time difference. It's still morning here. I appreciate the opportunity to work with North Carolina Association of Realtors again. I was able to speak at the conference a couple of years ago in Asheville. So hopefully some of you had an opportunity to see me there. And for those of you who didn't, thank you for tuning in today. What I wanted to talk about first is the recent news that we've heard about a real estate agent who was assaulted there in North Carolina this week. The situation with real estate agent safety is a continuing situation, and whether or not you hear the news, we know that it's happening. I want to briefly talk about the situation with the agent there, and I believe it was Elizabeth, North Carolina. The agent got a phone call from a client who wanted to see property. Now, first thing I have to say is she did a lot of things right. The very first thing that she did right is one of the things that we talk about when we talk about real estate agent safety is to meet in the office. She met the client in the office, and then she did another thing right. She told him to drive his own vehicle. So she was not in the car with a stranger, so kudos for her. And the most important thing that she did right, she survived. She's able to share her story with us. So good job, agent. She's not identified and it's not necessary. So good job for her for doing the right thing. I had an opportunity this past week to work with a real estate agent in Kansas, and she shared her story of being victimized as well. One of the things that she said that struck me was after she shared her story with other people, they said, you should have done this or you could have done that. What I am saying to you is that we never, ever blame the victim. I commend them for actually surviving. So to these agents who are able to tell their story, you did the right thing. So let's talk about lessons learned from this most recent attack. She did what we told her to do. She met him at the office. So my question to you is, could there be some other way to do that and may lessen the opportunity for attack? What about meeting in a public place? If you meet someone in a public place who is a new buyer or a new client, they're less likely to victimize you, right? First and foremost, criminals or cowards. They don't want to be seen. It's easier for them to get you somewhere off-site where there's no one around to make their jobs harder. Secondly, no one around to stop the attack or to call law enforcement officials. So what I am saying to you is meet in a public place. It could be a coffee shop or even one of your affiliates' offices. I'll bet there is a mortgage company, an insurance company, a title company that would welcome you utilizing their offices or conference rooms for an off-site meeting. The point is witness potential. Criminals don't want to be identified, so if they have to walk in an office full of people, walk by a receptionist, maybe be introduced to one of your affiliates, that's going to make them think twice because there's someone who can identify them. So create witness potential. Secondly, good job on having him ride in a separate car. A lot of times I hear agents say, I want my clients to feel loyal to me, build a relationship, so we will ride together. What I am saying to you is your safety is first. Until you get to know them and you are sure they're legitimate clients, separate cars would be ideal. If you have to think of an excuse or come up with an excuse, you can say, my insurance agent probably won't like me having someone else in the car with me. You can say it's an office policy, it's my policy that we don't ride in the same car. Whatever it takes, make an excuse to get out of that situation. And third, she survived. Listen to your gut. He started making inappropriate comments and he was touching her, and something in her, we don't know exactly what she did, but something in her forced her into action, and the action she took saved her life. Trust your gut. Listen to your bodies. It's hardly ever wrong. And so often in the interest of a commission getting paid, we ignore that. So I am saying kudos to the agent for surviving. Secondly, let's implement lessons learned. And another thing, I got an opportunity this morning to talk to Colleen Curtis, who is the EO at the Albemarle Area Association of Realtors. Excellent job in talking about the safety that you offer for real estate agents. And another thing is, like I said before, North Carolina Association of Realtors is ahead of the game. This segment was planned even before the assault occurred. When I went to where were we? Asheville. When I went to Asheville to speak about real estate agent safety, there were no crimes against agents. The thought was, let's have a program in place to prevent a crime against agents. So again, kudos to you. I know Colleen mentioned having some kind of safety implemented in their conference in April. Again, good job. And in talking to her, I know she is sincerely concerned about her agents. So just like the state association, good job on the local level. One thing that was mentioned is Forewarn, an app that the association, the Albemarle Association of Realtors, has as a benefit for the agents. I had an opportunity to work with the Forewarn representatives. As a matter of fact, I wrote an article in the most recent Realtor magazine and Realtor.org. I write safety columns on a regular basis, and my most recent one, which talks about real estate agents who were not fortunate enough to survive an attack or an assault, talked about some of the ways to avoid that. And Forewarn is an app that is, can I say, impressive. I get a lot of people in my position as a national real estate safety expert, and I'm also a former agent, but I get a lot of companies and people who say, hey, Tracey, talk about my product, recommend my product. I have to have a comfort level before I do that. And Forewarn is included in that article. And what I like about Forewarn is that it gives you advance notice, just like the name says, advance notice. So before you step out to meet a client, before you even get involved with the client, all you need is their phone number. And once you have their phone number, it's as simple as plugging it into the app, and you're going to get a comprehensive report on who they are and their backgrounds. In talking with one of the representatives from Forewarn when I was writing the article, he explained to me that if he can go through some of the crimes that have occurred against real estate agents, and you see where the assailants or the attackers are listed, while we were on the phone, he was able to plug in those names, and he was able to look at their criminal history. And we both talked about, if only agents knew who they were dealing with, they more than likely would not have shown up to meet those clients. So I am telling you, if it's already a benefit with your association, utilize that benefit, and it is an amazing one that the associations do on your behalf. So kudos to the Albemarle Association, and I don't know if all North Carolina associations have done it or the North Carolina State Association, but definitely take advantage of that. Let's talk quickly, if we can go any faster, and I am a natural fast talker, and usually I have enough time to warn everyone, but this time it's like I have 15 minutes to get in and get out, so I want to get as much information as possible covered. Let's talk about 5 things that you can do to make your jobs a little safer. And a lot of times agents don't realize that the U.S. Department of Labor considers real estate sales and leasing a high-risk occupation. It's right up there with law enforcement officials, convenience store clerks, security guards. It can be a dangerous job. My job as a national safety expert, a real estate safety expert, as I travel the country, is to give you the tools that you need to avoid being a victim. You don't have to be victimized. Trust your body, follow some safety tips and tools. As you can imagine with the news, my presentation today has changed a little bit. My focus right now is giving you the tools to move safely through the real estate process, because after crimes like this occur, you start questioning yourself and you get a little uncomfortable and you want to know, how can I prevent this from happening to me? So that's what my focus is today. So one thing I want to tell you to do, again, just to reiterate, meet in a public place. Coffee shop, wherever. Make sure there are witnesses around, because criminals are what? They're cowards. They don't want witnesses. So meet in a public place. Number 2, ask for ID. There are forms available on the Realtor.org website, and I wrote an article, as a matter of fact, a few years ago, and it talks about all of the forms, and I put links to all of the forms in one article. So if you go to nar.realtor, search my name, and it's spelled Tracey Hawkins, Hawkins. Search my name and look for the article about forms, FORMS. I I don't want to say Midwestern accent because I don't think I have one at all, but sometimes the words don't come out the way I want them to. So search for the filler forms, and it's going to talk about forms that you need to identify clients, information, agent information forms. Find the client information form. But more than likely, nowadays, if you're out in the field, you're not going to be able to get that form, have them fill it out, and then get a copy of their ID. If you're in an office, you can do that. That's perfect. If you happen to be in the field, what am I going to tell you to do? Use that handy device you have on your phone in your hand. Take a picture of the ID. Tell them this is a part of our safety procedure. As you know, this can be a dangerous job, and I need to make sure my team knows who I'm working with. Take a picture of that ID and don't just let it rest on your phone. Send it to someone in your office, send it to a spouse, send it to another agent. Someone needs to have that information in hand. And then your whereabouts need to be known. Someone needs to know where you are at all times without exception. So and I had an agent tell me, I forget where in the country I was, she said, I just text my information to another agent. Every single one of you text on a regular basis, so that's not an excuse. Send a text message to another agent or to someone, an adult or friend again. I am showing this client, attach the driver's license. We're going to these addresses. It takes just a few seconds to type up those addresses, and I'm showing from 1 to 3. That way, first and foremost, someone knows where you are. Secondly, they know who you're with. And third, they know when you're expected back. And if for some reason you don't show up, they can send that information to law enforcement officials just like that. And then the search is on. So they know to start looking for you, and they have a starting point. And then you have to have an escape route planned. This agent obviously had one plan. She was able to get out. What I'm telling you is to never let anyone block your escape route. So your client always goes first in any room space. Let them go first, and you keep your escape route wide open. It could be the door you came in. It could be another door, but never, ever allow anything or anyone to block your escape route. And the final thing I want to talk about today, because we're almost out of time, believe it or not, will be the tools that you need to stay safe. So let's talk quickly about the tools. When you think personal safety products on the market, what do you think the #1 safety product that real estate agents use? Yes, you're going to say pepper spray, mace, tear gas, pepper spray. I have samples here of pepper spray. Pepper spray is the #1 items, according to the National Association of Realtors, that real estate agents use. It needs to be the right formula. It needs to be OC, not CN, not CS. Look at the label. It needs to be OC. Make sure you're carrying the proper product. Make sure it's not expired. Give it a test spray. If you have questions about the spray or the product that you have, email me, and then I'll make sure you have my email address. Everything's in all the posts that I've put on there. I'm going to give it to you again. Secondly, when you're hosting an open house, give them warning that you are being watched, that they are being watched. A sign, a simple sign at the front door, and you can even take the lightweight signs throughout the house, print them up on your computer. Let someone know that you are videotaping everything that goes on in the property. Again, criminals are cowards. If they know they're being videotaped, they're more likely to behave. Final item I want to talk about. This is something that real estate agents across the country absolutely love. Do you see this flashlight? It's not just a flashlight. It's a flashlight with a couple of features. One is a strobe feature. So if you're in a situation and they're coming at you, shine the flashlight in their face. It's a great device. And you're going to need a flashlight anyway. And then this is heavy. So it can be used as a weapon if necessary. And to wrap up today, my time is pretty much over. To wrap up today, one thing I promised that we would talk about is ways to incorporate to consumer safety to help you make more money. So one thing that I've created a few things, and that is the seller safety checklist. I'm going to keep my website address, and you're going to go to my website, and you're going to request when you're listing a property, walk through the house with the sellers. Don't talk to them about marketing or listing their property. Talk to them about ways to make it safe, and you'll have a checklist in hand that I am providing to you. And it's going to talk about getting rid of the clutters of the stacks of mail. It's not only aesthetically unpleasing, but financial information could be contained there. It's going to talk about getting medicine out of sight, out of the medicine cabinet, jewelry out of jewelry boxes. It's going to talk about securing the house, lighting, locks, landscaping, things that they're not thinking about as it relates to the safety of their house. You're going to be the one telling them that as you go through the list, so it gives you an edge in your selling, listing presentations. No other agent's talking about it. So you get that edge. I'm providing the form to you. FSBO safety. When you see a FSBO, They don't want to talk to you because they think they can do what you do and that they can save money without dealing with a real estate agent. They don't realize the importance of the job that you do. You're going to give them this FSBO safety tip sheet. I've created 12 safety tips, and you're going to hand that to them. Leave it with your business card stapled to it or whatever. Meet with them and go through it. You're never talking about selling. You're talking about safety. No other agent is doing that with them. They're all talking about money. You're talking about the safety aspects of it. By the time they get down to number 12 on the list, they're going to think, oh my gosh, look at these safety items we never thought about. We really shouldn't be doing this. This is more dangerous than we thought. Guess who's going to get a phone call? The agent who took the time to provide them safety information. So definitely take the opportunity to utilize that form that I have created for you. That's how you add safety to the relationship with the consumer. That's how you get them to be loyal to you and how you can make more money. I've enjoyed our 15 minutes together today. I hope I didn't talk too fast. I think I forgot to give you the disclaimer that I'm typically trying to get a lot of information in a short period of time. If you need me, reach out to me, safetyandsecuritysource.com. This is what I do for a living. This is all that I do for a living. That's how I know all of the stories, because this is my sole focus. So definitely let me know if you need the safety training from me, if you need articles written. I am happy to share the articles that I've written for Realtor.org as well as Magazine, or you can just search my name on their site. Otherwise, thank you again for the North Carolina Association of Realtors for taking your safety seriously. Thank you all so much, and be safe.